What's good? It's your boy Whispy Woodz. And today, you guys, we're going to look a little bit at this egg. Okay, I'm going to show you guys, once again, the same amount of evidence pointing towards the same amount of clues, but it's going to point you in a more direct path, but also for you to understand why this is real, okay? And why it all conjoins into those stars and so on and so forth. Now, let's go back to the epsilon tract. The epsilon tract was given to us by Chris Fromage, okay? And this was upon completing the little mini game / Easter egg within the game that was based on cults and so on and so forth. And a lot of people took this for granted, and that was, what I pretty much told in a few of my first few videos. But getting back to a lot of the source material here, I want you guys to understand so you're not too lost as the new year, comes, and if you're still looking. Okay, I want you guys to understand something. The lake in which truth lives, okay, is very clean and clear. All right, but understand up here, okay, I want you to get it. We as a people have consistently got things backwards. So now, going back, okay, I want you guys to really understand this, okay? If we had things backwards, that would mean the lake is not clean and clear. Now, is it? Okay, this is following a new duality within understanding, a new understanding within the tract, okay? Now, if the lake is not clean and clear, that would mean it was dirty. Now, understand this. There is a lake where truth lives. And in this lake, an egg lived. Think about that, you guys. Okay? There is a lake where truth lives. And in this lake, an egg lived. Now we understand, taking forth of the duality, okay, that the water within the lake of truth is dirty, okay? Fort Zancudo, okay? A place that a lot of people have been looking for different clues and so on and so forth. But I want people to understand a few things about just this area in general. Okay? Zancudo is Spanish for a malarial
mosquito.
Let's understand a bit of the wordplay, okay? Lago Zancudo. All right. Now, once again, you guys, lago means lake in Portuguese, Italian, and Spanish. Zancudo, once again, Spanish for malarial mosquito. And even in the description, we have hints of wonderful wildlife haven to some, but a mosquito-infested swamp to others. You'll either love or hate the Lago Zancudo wetlands. A swamp sounds a lot like a clean and clear lake, but backwards. Even more interesting is that permanent water mosquitoes tend to lay their eggs in clumps called rafts of 50 to 300 on the surface of standing water at the edges of
lakes.
Now you know what I'm going to do, you guys, okay? I'm going to completely do this in front of you guys, okay? I'm going to do the process right in front of you. We're going to segregate and understand mosquito, but we are going to amount it to something that has been noted within this mystery, okay, which is aircrafts, okay? So we're going to look up the mosquito plane. So let's look up the de Havilland mosquito, okay? Now, what we're going to do is understand this aircraft for its movie importance, okay? Now, once again, all we're going to do is take this plane, okay, our clue, and let it take us to another clue, okay? Understanding it in film, okay? Its film importance. Now, once we understand this clue, it's going to take us into another numeral clue that we have been understanding throughout the mystery, and that is
69.
But it's pretty interesting that this 69 based movie, okay, Mosquito Squadron, has this plane, right? But once again, we're going to just dig deeper into clues here, just so we understand that this is exactly what's going to follow in so many different ways, like characters named
Scott.
Okay, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, I mean, there's there's even more than one actually. You know, I mean, this is very interesting. There's quite a bit of Scots in this movie. You know, but this is neither here nor there from things that I've made note like segregations of names and so on and so forth. But we're going to take something as simple as David, okay? Be it the name of David Jones, the creator of Grand Theft Auto. We're going to segregate his name and understand it as another clue taking us to this specific David, okay? Now, David McCullum, okay? Very interesting actor. I mean, he's been in a litany of different shows and movies and so forth. I mean, Batman, so on and so forth. A lot of things that, pretty much all kind of tie into different strands into the mystery, but, those are loose ends. Let's look and focus into the real things here, okay? The point here, you guys, is that he's done a lot more than just film, okay, within his career, all right? And this is part of what I mean by understanding the full spectrum of certain things. When we look at movies, we are not supposed to just look at the actors and so forth. I mean, yes, that's the stars, but we're supposed to understand the music, like I've made note before, and why it will ultimately tie us right back into Rockstar and Grand Theft Auto.
I want to speak about Illuminati and if you believe in that, if it's infiltrated hip hop, and a lot of people say like Jay-Z, and Kanye West, they have affiliations with that, and when you reach a certain level in hip hop, that they approach you. I'm wondering if anybody has approached you on that, if you're working with them, because some people I've heard say they believe KRS-One is a Mason or something like that, and if you didn't mind speaking on that and what your thoughts are.
Yeah, well, where do I start? No, I'm not a Mason. Let's start there. I studied Freemasonry, though. Studied for about 20, well, coming up on 20 years now. Studied Freemasonry. I've known Freemasons all my life. They trust me with their secrets. They trust me with their symbols. They trust me with their knowledge. I'm considered a 33-degree Master Mason, but I'm not a Mason. I'm sort of what you would call an honorary member because I understand the truth. Masonry is not the Illuminati. Freemasonry is, or was, it originally started off as what science would be called today. Back in the days, there were several sects that knew the truth, and they would put that truth into whatever craft they were practicing at the time. So first you have men and women that make boats, and they make these boats to sail. So they create what is called maritime law, the law of the sea. And there's a gentleman named Jason Whitley, as well as Jordan Maxwell, that speaks, actually Jordan Maxwell speaks extensively on this, that in an ancient sense, those who made ships would put spiritual knowledge into the concept of shipbuilding. So you would get God as a ship. God's inner would be the hull, the mind is the sails, and we are on the stage of life, sailing, sort of like an old Freemason. A Masonic poem is row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. That's the secret, if you can comprehend what I just said. But the point is that secrets are put into the craft of the teacher. The teacher does not blatantly tell you, this is the truth. You won't even understand it. What the teacher does is put the truth in the craft that the teacher is practicing. So you have shipbuilding, and you get this whole philosophy, which is really all of Egyptian mythology, based on ships, water. because that was their craft. That was what that was. Then you go a little further down, and you get actually right here in California, on Wilshire Boulevard, there's a major Masonic temple there. And on the outside of the temple, they show you the pharaoh Akhenaten handing over to a Greek philosopher the truth. And that Greek philosopher handing it off to someone else. And that's right there on Wilshire Boulevard. You should go look at it.
Word.
This is where Freemasons get their knowledge handed to them from the Pharaoh of Egypt, Akhenaten, who is one of the special pharaohs, because Akhenaten is the one that didn't believe in the old Egyptian ways. He said there is a new way to approach God and told everybody that God was the sun.
Hello, Michael. Or should I say Zolag?
What?
Your real name is Zolag.
Zolag.
You are a king. You lived in a cloud city, but evil forces came and
Here's
cast
the
you
GTA
out.
5 map. Now, what I want to ask you here is, why is it that we get called Zolag? Okay? Zolag. I want you to really think about that. But why is it that Zolag, when segregated and rearranged, forms lago Z? But more importantly, why is lago Z right here? And it's actually the lake of Fort Zancudo.